Voila! I am back with another video, finally. As promised, I will try to make 2 videos over my long weekend. So, about 2 videos over my long weekend. Now, before we begin, I want to note a mistake that I did in the last video. So, for Maine, I forgot to mention that there's Acadia National Park. It's the only national park in the entire Northeast region. I've been there before, and I saw a lot of cool stuff like water and the hills and mountains in Maine. Now we can begin with the lesson. One more thing, I did change this graphic. I just added Utah and Minnesota's current flags. First, we have Massachusetts. The capital is Boston. Its largest city is also Boston, and others include Worcester and Springfield. Massachusetts borders New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. It has water borders with the Atlantic Ocean and the Sargasso Sea, as well as the Cape Cod Bay. It was one of the original 13 colonies. Here's an image of Martha's Vineyard, which is somewhere down south. It was one of the major battlefields of the American Revolution, as well as it did host the Boston Tea Party. Massachusetts got its statehood on February 6, 1788, and at the recording of this video, it was only a week ago. Its region, it's New England. Its population is 7.1 million because Boston basically carries the population, and there are 14 counties. The next state is Michigan. The capital is Lansing, and its largest cities are Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Wharton. Yeah, it borders Minnesota, it has a water border with Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Canada. It has water borders with 4 of the 5 major lakes, hence Michigan's nickname, the Great Lakes State: Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie. Michigan's statehood was on January 26, 1837. It's in the north-central region. It has one national park called Isle Royale. Wait, the tree is in the wrong spot. Whatever. Its population is 10.1 million, making it the 10th most populated U.S. state. And there are 83 counties across both peninsulas. It's interesting that Michigan is probably the most freshwater abundant state, considering it's surrounded by basically all the Great Lakes except for one. The next state is Minnesota. Minnesota's capital is St. Paul, but the largest city is its twin city, Minneapolis. St. Paul is the second largest city, and then the third is Rochester, which is a little down south. Its statehood was on May 11, 1858, right before the Civil War. It's in the west-north-central region. It has a water border with Michigan, like I mentioned earlier, Canada, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. There's one national park called Voyageurs. Its population is 5.8 million, nearly 2 times less as Michigan's population, and there are 87 counties in Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota is known as the land of 10,000 lakes, so here's an image of Lake of the Woods, which is actually at the northernmost tip. Minnesota is somehow the northernmost state because the borders were drawn at the northwest point of Lake Michigan and then down along the 49th parallel, and it somehow makes that tiny tip the northernmost point of the contiguous U.S. states, if you don't count Alaska specifically. Before we go to Mississippi, the last thing to mention about Minnesota, about a year ago, they changed its flag from an old one to this new version. Now we have Mississippi. The capital is Jackson. Its largest cities are aforementioned Jackson, South Haven, and Gulfport, both on opposite ends of the states. It has water borders with Gulf of Mexico / America, dependent on where you live or what website you use. It borders Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Its statehood was on December 10th, 1817. It's in the east-south central region. Its population is 2.9 million, and there are 82 counties in Mississippi. Of course, the state of Mississippi was named after the Mississippi River, which probably has the longest time in Mississippi. However, Mississippi is considered the poorest state in America, considering that 1 in 5 people are currently facing poverty. Next is Missouri. The capital is Jefferson City. Its largest cities are Kansas City, St. Louis, and Springfield. Of course, Kansas City has the Chiefs. Well, they may not have it anymore. They're relocating to Kansas. And then St. Louis, it's on the opposite end of Kansas City. It's also a big city, kind of like Kansas City. Both of them are on rivers. St. Louis is on the Mississippi, and Kansas City is on the Missouri River. And it makes Missouri have a population of 6.2 million. There's 115 counties, which is pretty big, considering Missouri is not the biggest state. Region is west, north, central. Missouri has the most borders of any state, tying with another state that I will not mention in this video today. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee. 8 borders. Its statehood was on August 10th, 1821. As you can see, here is the famous Gateway Arch, which for some reason is a national park, and I forgot to put a national park label on the Gateway Arch. Mainly because the Gateway Arch is not even natural. It's man-made. I do not get why this is a national park. So something's telling me it makes sense that it did not make it that a national park.